my God, we're live. Hey everybody, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. This is our Night Terrors, which are our shorter version of Paranormal Portals, about an hour, where we discuss some kind of topic about the paranormal. And I think we got a good topic tonight. We're gonna touch on UFO encounters tonight, and I know a lot of you are into that. I think everybody's kind of into that lately, and I think there's some encouraging statistics out there right now that would suggest that more people believe in UFOs now than ever before. So I think it's a good time to revisit the UFO encounter. So welcome to the show. Hope you all are having a wonderful night, and thank you all for joining us here on the Paranormal Portal. And remember, throughout the course of the show, you can call in and be a part of it. But before I go any further, I should probably introduce my son, my nightly co-host on the Unbearded Nights, and my another branch on the family tree, Mr. Sheldon Thomas. How you doing, buddy?
This branch is doing pretty good, feeling strong.
You're a strong branch? Good. Yeah, we don't want any weak branches on the tree, but that's great. How's everything going?
I hope everyone... Huh?
How's everything going?
It's going great. Feeling great. And as always, hoping for a great show. And hope everyone out there is also staying safe from the recent hurricane. Hopefully nobody lives in those areas, and hopefully everyone that does stays as safe as possible.
Wow, that was very appropriate. I guess you're really getting the hang of this stuff, aren't you?
Slowly, but I'm getting there.
You are. You're doing great. I didn't even think about mentioning that. So I've been struggling, with a nasty cold or something for the last week, but doing better today. Really feel like I turned a corner, and finally, for the first time, feel like the headaches are stopping for the first time in a week. So that's really cool. It's like they're still there, but just a little bit now. Earlier in the day, they were just horrible. They were the worst yet, but so far today, it seems like they're getting better, which means I'm in a better mood, although, I'm still a little zapped, but I got more energy for you guys tonight, and hopefully we, again, echoing Sheldon's sentiments, hopefully we bring you a great show. That's always the objective here on the Portal, but, oh, hey, hi, Mom. Portal Mom's in the house. Nina, yeah, that's Nina. She's in the house. And thank you all for being here with us as we go through the journey. Again, the phone number is 720-923-0500. If anybody out there wants to call in and be a part of the portal, that's always an option. If you've got a UFO encounter of your very own, have you seen something and you think, God, I think that was a UFO or anything of the sort, by all means, feel free to call in and be a part of the journey. You can also email if you're not into talking about things in person, kind of freaks you out or whatever, then just email in your experiences. You can do that by emailing paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. So that's pretty much everything on the front end, Sheldon. You ready to dive into this?
As always, I'm ready.
Well, I hope you all are ready, because it's time for bed. All right, we are now officially underway here on the portal, and I had to correct your typo there in the...
I was just retyping it when you did that.
That's
it's like, oh no.
It's the thought that counts. That's okay. It's all that matters. Or email, apparently fox, lion, tiger, bear, panda, cow... What is that, a chick, a rooster, a Twitter bird, and a pig @gmail.com. I don't know who you're going to get if you do that, but it might be worth a shot. Hi, Stacy Lynn. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Sugar Britches is here. Jordan Cogburn's here. G is here. Maggie's here. Digger Dog's here. Kirsten Leah is here. And let me see, Richard Elmore. How you doing, Richard? And let's see if there's anybody else that's been chatting. I'm just kind of going through the list. Max Mason is here. Hi, Max. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Colonel Irwin, or Call Irwin. I like calling him the Colonel because just go. Richard Elmore's here. And Cold Stairs is here. Is anybody else here? Maggie is here. Herman Vera is here. Good to see you, Herman. Fourth Color's here. And I think, Jocelyn Richardson's here. Good. Alaska here. Well, that just reminded me about something, and I think that's important. So just give me a second here while I pull something up, because this is something that is going on this weekend up in Alaska. And if you're in the neighborhood, I think you should check it out. And let me pull it up here and put it on the screen over your face, Sheldon.
All right. My favorite spot.
I'm not even going to I'm not going to even touch that. I'm going to leave that all the way alone. The Boreal Expo, Bigfoot Expo, is going on September 4th, which is apparently on Sunday, right? No, Saturday. It'll be Saturday in Fairbanks, Alaska, at the Civic Center at Pioneer Park. So any of you are up there in Alaska and you're looking for something fun to do, make it over to Fairbanks and hit the Boreal Bigfoot Expo. I would love to go to these things all the time. Don and I have made it to a couple this year, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. We really enjoyed it, and it was great meeting some of you who managed to make it to the two places where we were. And we had a lot of fun. I would recommend any of you that haven't been to these expos, go check them out, because there's great information there. There's great people. There's great presenters. And there's some amazing, I don't know, there's just these vendor booths that are so much fun. And I don't know, I could have spent thousands of dollars there easily at either one of them, but I did pretty good. I didn't spend much money.
You buying my ticket?
What?
So you buying my ticket?
I said what? Something's wrong with our connection, Sheldon. It's like static. Static. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, the features are, they got guest speakers, vendors, displays, photos and audio recordings, and door prizes. So if you guys can get there, if you're in the Alaska area, then definitely check out the Boreal Bigfoot Expo. Again, September 4th, the Civic Center at Pioneer Park in Fairbanks, Alaska. So tickets are available online, so you can book it on there at www.borealbigfootexpo.com. So check it out. It'll be great. And our friends from Extreme Expeditions Northwest LLC will be up there. Mr. Stephen Majors will be there, and I know that Larry Beans Baxter will be up there, and I think he's one of the presenters, and he spoke at the Medellin Falls Bigfoot Festival, he did a marvelous talk. So if you can catch that, definitely do it. That's just one of those things that if you get a chance to go to one of these or several of these expos, you should always do that. I think it's a great way to, see what's going on in the community, get a chance to meet and talk to people and network as well. I think you can meet a lot of great people at these things. So just a suggestion. So I hope any of you that are able to will check it out. I would if I was up there. If I was going to be up there, I'd go there. But at any rate, door prize. Yeah, I want a door. I don't think that's what they mean. They're not giving away doors, G, just for the record. But anyway, but good luck on getting your door. I know that everybody needs some doors. Just saying.
That's right.
All right, so we got some stuff to get to right away here, and I guess we'll start out by doing that. This is what I was referring to is a new Gallup poll by news.gallup.com. It's a poll that shows larger minority in the U.S. says some UFOs are alien spacecraft. This is written by Lydia Saad. And look at that sign. That's great. It shows a cow getting sucked up by a UFO. That's awesome. It says open range.
Nice.
All right. Let's see. It says Washington, D.C., more Americans are taking UFOs seriously than just 2 years ago. When asked which of the two theories better explains UFO sightings, 41% of adults now believe some UFOs involve alien spacecraft from other planets, up to 8 points from 33% in 2019. Half of Americans, down from 60 in 2019, remain skeptical, saying all UFO sightings can be explained by human activity or natural phenomenon. Another 9% are just unwilling to venture a guess. But there you have it, folks. The numbers are looking encouraging. People are coming around to our way of thinking. Pretty soon, this will be normal. We can't even call it paranormal anymore.
True, actually.
This will just be the normal portal.
Yeah.
Have to rebrand and everything, but just saying. It says the recent change spans a period when UFOs have received significant coverage in mainstream news publications. This includes a spate of articles in 2019 focused on leaked footage of mysterious flying objects taken by Navy pilots. While the Department of Defense has not suggested these or any UFOs involve alien visitors, the Navy has acknowledged the leaked video is authentic, and in 2020, it commissioned a task force to study unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP. The latest Gallup results are based on a telephone poll conducted July 6th through 21. This was less than a month after the Office of the Director of National Intelligence issued its preliminary report on UAPs, stating that the various types of incidents examined likely fall into one of these categories: airborne clutter, natural atmospheric phenomena, U.S. government or U.S. industry development programs, foreign adversary systems, and a catch-all other bin. The 2019 survey was conducted on August 1st through 14th, several months after the Navy UFO footage was first leaked. Gallup's history of measuring Americans' views on UFOs. From 1973 to 2019, Gallup tracked whether Americans thought UFO sightings involved something real as opposed to just people's imaginations. The wording found between 47% and 57% believing that they were real, including 56% in 2019. However, it wasn't clear from the question whether real meant people thought UFOs involved alien visitors or earthly objects such as drones, military planes, or unusual cloud formations. To address that uncertainty, in a separate 2019 Gallup poll, Gallup first asked whether any UFOs have been alien spacecraft, with no questions about UFOs immediately preceding it in the survey. Today's update replicated that methodology, thus providing a reliable trend. College graduates no longer the most skeptical. Belief that alien spacecraft has visited Earth has risen among most societal subgroups since 2019, with slightly larger increases seen among men and among middle-aged and college-educated adults compared to their counterparts. The rise in this view among college-educated adults is particularly notable because it may reflect their greater attention to news compared with adults who are not college-educated. Oh, really? So because you go to college, you might watch the news? Probably, because you probably believe in that stuff. Just saying. The percentage of college graduates believing some UFOs have been alien spacecraft is up 10 points from 27% in 2019, the lowest that year, for any major demographic group, to 37% today. Adults with some college education show a similar 9-point increase in belief from 40 to 49%. Belief just rose 4 points, not a statistically significant change, to 39% among those with no college education. The net effect of those UFO alien spacecraft findings is that college graduates have gone from being the least likely educational group to believe this in 2019 to being on par with adults who have no college education today. Adults with some college experience but no degree remain the most likely to be persuaded. What is that saying? Incomplete education? I don't know what the hell what even that implies, but anyway. There's the chart showing the increases, of course. The new poll also shows men moving ahead of women in believing that some UFOs have been alien visitors to Earth. 44% of men now take this position, up from 34% in 2019. By contrast, 38% of women currently hold this view, little changed from 33%. The middle-aged adults believed in visits by alien spacecraft increased the most of all age groups, rising 13 points to 45%. Their views now match those of adults aged 18 to 34, while contrasting with the 37% of adults 55 and older. The views of white and non-white adults, as well as Republicans and Democrats, have been similar to the national average in both years that Gallup has asked the question. The bottom line? With more mainstream news coverage of UFOs in recent years, and the government taking sightings more seriously, the idea that UFOs could be alien spacecraft doesn't seem as far-fetched to Americans as it did even 2 years ago. Meanwhile, the government seems more focused on determining if the threat is coming from foreign governments rather than other planets. And half of Americans continue to presume there is an Earth-based exploration for all such sightings. There you go. That's what the Gallup polls are saying. Pretty interesting, huh?
Well, I mean, it's coming to a point, I feel like, where, when governments are even talking about it, and as more evidence and more video footage and that gets released and comes out, it's getting harder and harder to deny the possibility of UFOs anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the government acknowledgement that those videos were legitimate, I think, is the closest we've ever been to, disclosure, where people are expecting the government just to open their books and say, this is what we got. We don't know what it is, but we think this or this or this. But, just the acknowledgement that, hey, these videos are real. It almost seems like there's a plan involved, because I can't imagine the government just doing this like, oops, it happened, here you go. So many people through the ages have talked about being confronted by government people after a sighting and saying, you will not talk about this, especially if you're in the military. But even civilians have been threatened, apparently, allegedly, by government representatives about not talking about it. So it seems as if they're not in full suppression mode anymore, but they're not generally saying, they say there's some unknowns, which I think is the same as saying that they could very well be from other planets or other intelligences anyway. But I don't know. I think I don't know. It's possible. I think
plus me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That will move towards more openness, at least among maybe not in the governmental sense, but at least among people being willing to explore the ideology. So, what were you going to say?
Oh yeah, it's just. Especially with some of these videos, with the military ones, that the fact that these ships, like the pill ship, that Navy video, they're breaking. Didn't they say that they were breaking like our laws of aerodynamics or physics or something, or those laws is what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't even think those things could be man-made anywhere on the globe. I don't know.
Yeah, basically the maneuvers that they were performing would have been beyond, that they were observed performing, were beyond what the stresses a human could take. Now, if they were some kind of super advanced unmanned craft, then maybe that's an explanation. So they did say, though, that I think one of them went from 40,000 feet to like 20 or 40 feet above the ocean in like seconds. So it just went boom, right down, which I don't know that we have. I mean, that's so much beyond the speed of gravity. That's a hyper acceleration. So I don't know of any technologies we currently have that would allow that to happen. So anyway, I think they did acknowledge it, but they didn't. So they didn't go as far to say these could very well be from another world. But they did say we don't know, which I don't know. I think that's quite an admission, because that has never been the case, never been the precedent prior. They would always throw at least some stupid excuse at it. And usually it was just the explanations were more ridiculous than just thinking we had aliens visiting, like ice crystals reflecting off of Venus and just weird explanations, swamp gas, etc. Everybody's heard these things, or weather balloons.
Oh, yeah.
Weather balloons. Yeah. Oh, it's just a weather balloon. They must be everywhere. But
weather balloon breaking the sound barrier? I don't know.
Hell of a balloon. must have gotten a hole or something. It was like, so, I don't know. Anyway,
Rachel asks, what could the tipping point be for a government to provide full disclosure?
Honesty.
More honesty.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it has to be willing to be open with its with the public. And I don't think our government is anywhere near that. And again, before this report was going to come out, this collected reports that was slipped into the bill that they had to disclose this stuff. Before that came out, I mean, I was sure that we wouldn't see much from it because 2 words, national security. They just got to say, what's a risk to national security? We can't do that, even though the bill says that we have to. And that's pretty much what they did. They never, I don't know if they actually cited national security, but I think it was alluded to many times because
it's such a vague word. You can
absolutely
make it mean anything.
Yeah, exactly. So at any rate,
speaking of loopholes, Cold Stairs said, unidentified is a huge loophole. They may know they come from space, however, they don't know where exactly. This makes them unidentified/unknown. That's true. I think I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the other word. The other 2 words that are always used, plausible deniability. And they can say it's unknown. Like, yeah, it's from space, but we don't know. But they don't say it's from space. They just say, we don't know where it's from. Well, they probably don't. So it's not really a lie. It's just not the whole truth, That's a creative way of editing the truth. So you're right. Good point, Cold Stairs. Very true. All right, let's get to some more of this fun. Now that we're done with that one, let's move to an article by our good friend, Mr. Brent Swancer, from July 28th of 2021. This year, and Mr. Brent Swancer is a journalist that contributes to mysteriousuniverse.org and has contributed to many other sites in the past. He's been a guest on Coast to Coast. I'm trying to get him to be a guest on Paranormal Portal, but he seems reluctant to do many shows. So, but at any rate, he gives us some great information to work with here on the show, and this one is very interesting. And this is an article he wrote for mysteriousuniverse.org. Definitely check out mysteriousuniverse.org because they have this plethora of Fortean and paranormal and supernatural articles written by the likes of Brent Swancer and several other very talented writers. But Brent Swancer also can be found online in his Facebook group, which is Dark League Paranormal. Is that what it is? God, I sometimes just totally lose words. Let me just look it up quick here. I can't understand why that happens. Dark League Paranormal, yeah. Yep, I was right. Sorry. It came out of my mouth and I was like, is that it? It's the cold medicine. What do you do? I wish I could blame it on cold medicine all the time, but it's just little hiccups in my mind. So anyway, Dark League Paranormal is his group. It's a great group, great discussions going on. And he always posts his links in there of his articles as he's written them or from his archives, as well as he posts them on the Paranormal Portal fans group on Facebook. So if you're not already a member there, please get involved on Paranormal Portal fans because that's another great Facebook site. Just saying. All right, let's check out this article. This is the alien contactee, Edward Meier, and his controversial UFO photos. This is by Brent Swancer, July 28th, 2021 on mysteriousuniverse.org. Edward Billy Albert Meier was born in the town of Bulach in Zürcher Unterland of Switzerland. I'm sure I'm butchering those names. In 1937, from a very young age, he would begin to have some very odd experiences. At the age of just 5, when in 1942 he claims to have met a gentleman by the name of Sfath, S-F-A-T-H, who was supposedly from a race of extraterrestrials he would call the Pleiadians, from the Pleiadian star cluster. Over the years, he would make telepathic contact with other Pleiadians, in particular a woman named Asket, A-S-K-E-T, and they would purportedly teach him of their ways, culture, and life on their world, as well as instructing him on how to get humanity back on track after having lost our way long ago. This would continue until 1964, when Meier would claim that all contact with the aliens suddenly ceased. However, this seems to have not been the end of his strange adventures, and he would go on to become a very controversial figure in the field of UFOs. In 1975, Meier claims that he was contacted once again by the Pleiadians, this time a woman named Samjasi, who was apparently the granddaughter of Sfath. This contact would inspire Meier to start a program called the free community of interest for the border and special spiritual sciences and ufological studies, I guess is the Swiss translation to English. And over the decades, he would claim hundreds of telepathic meetings with these aliens, especially Samjasi. And it was with her that he would start to churn out photographs that have been simultaneously iconic and controversial in ufology to this day. There's a picture of the man. That's quite a beard. He's in the long beard category too, I think.
Make Don give Don a run for his money.
Yeah, he's got more beard. Don's got the centerpiece, but this guy went the full Monty on this deal. According to Meier, the Pleiadians began allowing him to clearly photograph what he calls their beam ships, and he would begin to release these photographs at a rapid clip, ultimately taking 1,476 photos and 34 films between the years of 1975 and 1981, all remarkable in their clarity. He even took photos of the aliens themselves, as well as those that were allegedly taken off-world or even in the prehistoric past. In addition to this, he would take transcripts of these conversations with the aliens, as well as metal samples, sound recordings, and film footage, often supposedly giving technological insights and predictions claimed to be well ahead of their time. Much of this is actively embraced by some in the field, with one article on the PR Newswire, which refers to the research of UFO researcher Michael Horn and says, some of Billy Meier's 1200 were independently authenticated pre-digital era UFO photos, taken 1975 through 1981, provided to Harvard professor Avi Loeb. Oh, that's interesting. He's the Harvard professor that believes that Oumuamua was not just some kind of meteorite, but was actually alien technology, as the best evidence of extraterrestrial UFOs. During the course of researching thousands of pages of information Meier claims the extraterrestrials provided, Horn and other researchers have found over 250 examples of specific previously unknown scientific information that Meier published up to more than 60 years before official discovery. Ironclad proof that Meier published the information first is established by internationally recognized copyrights. Conveyed in the clear language of science and subsequently confirmed by NASA discoveries is information about every planet in the solar system, as well as black holes, the speed of gravity, the impending threat posed by asteroids Apophis, and terrestrial environments, seismic and volcanic events, etc. The pictures themselves are iconic and instantly recognizable, even if you don't consciously realize where they came from. For instance, Agent Mulder's I Want to Believe UFO poster in his office in the hit show The X-Files is one of Meier's, although only in the first 3 seasons and was changed in the 4th season due to an intellectual property suit brought by Meier, as the creators of the show were never obtained permission to use the image. When the photos were first released, they made major waves, becoming the most highly publicized UFO photos of all time. You can see a selection of some of the UFO photos here. Let's look at those.
Yeah.
The truth is out there. Oh, no, I don't want your news, but I want to look at this. Look at that. 3 saucers.
Wow.
That is pretty impressive. There's a couple going by.
Wow. That's a great shot, too.
It is, yeah. Look at that one. It seems to be back in the background more than rather in the foreground, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what year was this taken? Were these?
I don't know. This is the one from I Want to Believe, the poster that was used on the X-Files.
Huh.
I don't know what year these were taken for sure. These are good photos, though. They're all the same flying saucers, but yeah, that's interesting.
It is very.
Yeah, those are very true. Very cool. All right, let's get back to the article here. The pictures themselves, where was I? Okay, no one had ever seen such clear UFO photos before, but it was this clarity and the prolific nature of them that immediately drew skeptics. For one, the photos have been pointed out as, well, looking pretty fake and staged. with sometimes even strings visible. There is also the fact that the aliens themselves conveniently look exactly like humans. And none of this was helped by Meier's wife's confession in 1997 that he had been making plastic UFO models to photograph. Ooh, that's not good. And that the aliens had taken the pictures of were merely photos of Michelle Delafave and Susan Lund, members of the singing and dancing troupe, the Gold Diggers. That's kind of funny. Which was later verified. Also fueling the skepticism was Meier's group being increasingly seen as creepy UFO cult, and his bold claims that he was the seventh reincarnation after 6 prophets common to Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. That's a different one. This all seems pretty damning for the veracity of Meier's famous collection of photographs. But he's had those willing to stand up for him as well, and who continue to vouch for his authenticity. There have even been claims that the fake-looking photos have been manipulated to seem that way in order to be dismissed as fake as part of the government's cover-up and disinformation program. The 1988 booklet, The Truth About Billy Meier, says of this: UFO contact person Billy Meier is often attacked by uninformed people who do not have the slightest knowledge of Billy's comprehensive contacts and his mission and all the details. They have never even met Billy in person. Uninformed critics and untrustworthy people who feel Billy's contacts and mission are impossible discredit and accuse him of being a charlatan, or worse, and try to ridicule him. However, generally speaking, they are ill-informed on the issues and contexts, and therefore are in no position to pass any realistic or competent judgment on the mission, the contacts, or Billy's person. Billy did not strive for these contacts with extraterrestrials. On the contrary, he was sought out by the Pleiadians because of an ancient mission from thousands of years ago. Furthermore, it has been shown that Billy did not agree to these contacts for financial gain, publicity, or personal fame, which can be evidenced by his withdrawn lifestyle. Many people still claim that Billy faked the hundreds of UFO photos he has taken to achieve some form of personal fame and or monetary gain for himself, despite the positive analysis performed by several competent scientists and photo experts. In particular, they seem to be people who, because of some strange opinions concerning the rest of the world, politics, or religions, cannot bear the truth that may differ from their own beliefs. Well, there's truth to that. We see that evidenced all the time. They are willing to suppress the truth with the aid of mean, dishonest methods and to extinguish it, if possible, even if that means going over dead bodies, tarnishing, and destroying the reputation of another human being. Most of these allegations are not even backed up by scientific research, or they contain false, distorted data. In addition, it is a well-known fact that numerous photos of Billy's were carefully manipulated in the past to show strings and similar anomalies that were widely distributed in attempts to discredit him. However, the decision as to their authenticity ultimately lies with each and every individual. There's also the researcher Horn, who has tirelessly stood up for Meier's photographs and data, urging people to look deeper into the matter and not disregard this supposed evidence. He has said of it, "While Meier's evidence is certainly extraordinary, the term itself is prejudicial. Wasn't it once extraordinary to claim that the Earth moved around the sun? Testing any claims using scientific methodologies will determine the actual facts. The Internet allows anyone to examine Meier's evidence, check copyright dates, etc., and use today's state-of-the-art software, not available until decades after Meier took his UFO photos, to analyze and authenticate his evidence. If deemed genuine, we are now confronted with the most important and unexpected discovery in science and human history: the confirmed existence of and ongoing contact with intelligent extraterrestrial life. Should that be the case, we will want to pay particular attention to the warnings they have provided about coming environmental, geopolitical, and financial events that may threaten our future survival. And I think this may be the underlying reason for the Meier contacts. Whatever one may think, the infamous Billy Meier photos have been largely debunked, although there are still plenty of people who hold them up as the real deal. And they are discussed to this day. Regardless of their pedigree, they are among some of the most well-publicized, instantly recognizable UFO photos there are, frauds or not, and have managed to reverberate through the UFO community to this day, for better or worse. There you have it, Billy Meier. I did not know this guy's name before this article. But again, I always learn something from Brent Swancer's work. It's just incredible. So there you have it. That's Billy Meier, the story of him and his photos. Interesting stuff,
So
eh?
that's the story of the photos. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these photos have been out there, but I had no idea of the complex history of them and the controversy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Slowpoke, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Had to wet my whistle. All that reading. I don't talk a lot during the day, and especially with this cold. When I do start talking, it's like, bleh. So I get all froggy real quick, so I apologize. The experts can either light the candle of truth or snuff out the flame, and let humanity stumble along with our comforting ignorance. Well, there's an old saying, ignorance is bliss, and that's probably true. The world's pretty easy if you think, and accountability is pretty easy if you think that we are it. And we're just on this little, collection of rock and material in the vacuum of space. If there's not a universal consequence for things, then we get to do what we want because this is our little microcosm. But if we acknowledge that we're part of a universal body and consciousness, then there's accountability, not only to ourselves but to the other consciousnesses out there. Hi, happy girl. Good to see you. Sorry, I got a cough. Hold on. There, a little bit better. Not really sounding much better, but it feels better.
You were earlier.
Yeah, I know, but as I've been talking, it shows you.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a lot of mileage on this yet, so my voice breaks up pretty quick. It's like I've been doing a marathon or something, but it's just a little bit. But that's that. Now, I think that's a great article though, and I think it was great information. What did you think, Sheldon?
I thought it was nice.
It was nice. Was it a birthday card?
Well, it got me. I mean, there were parts in it that got me thinking, like,
Android's asking, do these match the UFO you saw? Only in the shape of the saucer, but the one I saw was, well, first of all, I saw it through infrared, so it was in a green format. But I can tell you that the two plates of the UFO didn't come together like what they did on his. The one I saw had a gap between the top and the bottom plate, and there was these panels, and the panels were flashing on and off in a pattern around the craft. So it was flashing light, but again, once I lowered the binoculars, I couldn't see anything. But when I put them back up, it was still there. So it was cloaked, as far as I can figure, like it was hiding from the native light spectrum that our eyes can see. So they can manipulate that, apparently. And that's really what made me think, this is not just some man-made thing. This is something well beyond us. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know if there's stealth technology like that or not that we are capable of, but it blew me away. It was just incredible. So
yours is a pretty good encounter.
Yeah, it was weird, and I'd never heard about that. I have since, having that experience and talking about it, and in my research, have come across other people that say, look, you can really see them all the time in IR light, through night vision. And I really never noticed that before. But after I experienced it, I was like, I thought I was on something new and universal. Like, I just discovered something. They could be anywhere. We wouldn't know it. And then I started digging, and other people have made these claims before. So apparently I'm not the only one to realize it, but I never knew it before. But yeah,
it's a good sign if you're not the only one.
Yeah, well, it does quantify that at least. But
yeah.
I'd never heard it before I experienced it. But I did experience that, and it was incredible. It still, when I think about it, just goes, ugh. It just blew me away. It was such a powerful event. And then once I realized that they were probably sitting above that tree looking at me, then I was like, oh, this isn't comfortable anymore. I don't know what they want. I don't know what they're doing. Why were they looking at me? What do I got to offer? I don't want to know. So that was the end of my experience because I didn't wait until they left. I left. I just went in and shut the doors, locked them, and said, nope, that's it. What year did you see that, Brent? Was it in Idaho? Yeah, it was in the north tip of Idaho. Just probably 20-minute drive from where I am right now. And I guess that would have been, let's see, we've been here 7 years now. It was a year before I moved up here. It's 2021. Minus 7 would be what, 2014? I guess it was probably 2014 when I saw it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. 2014 would have been the year that I saw that.
Wow, it's been that long already.
Yeah, time flies, right?
It does.
Well, just think, you were still living with me back then.
Yeah, I was.
Yep. Because you had your experience. Was it, I don't know if it was after that or we just talked about it after that, but you had seen that saucer as well. Next to
I remember
bluff.
it was in the daytime, and I saw it like above the edge of that bluff. That's all I mean, and it shined in my eyes, obviously, but
Yeah, you thought it was reflecting sunlight, though.
yeah, I thought like, 'cause my initial thought when I like saw that like reflection, I was just watching the road,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, is there a house up there? Like, I was like,
No.
is there a house? Like, I thought like some window was shining the light in but no, it wasn't.
And then it just took off like, boom. Yeah.
Yeah, just like, boom, gone, just off in the distance. Yeah.
Oh. Did you see it actually making a motion towards that and then just gone? Or did it just gone?
I'll be honest, I don't remember.
Okay. Because I'm curious if they maybe flipped the switch and then just were invisible because they realized you were seeing them. You know?
Yeah.
So they just hit the stealth switch like, oh, shut it down, guys. You know? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I often think about people that see UFOs. They talk about, boom, it was just gone. It was just gone. It just was gone. It traveled so fast, I couldn't even see it. Maybe they didn't go anywhere. Maybe they just flipped a switch, went into that stealth mode, you know?
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's not about traveling. It's about, oh, okay, activate cloaking.
I'm sure they can move blindingly fast. I'm not saying that isn't possible, but it just maybe is easy to think, well, it was gone. So they must have traveled fast, faster than I could see out of that range. But maybe they're just turning on that cloaking so they could be invisible. I don't know. I tend to think these intelligences are probably very telepathic, and that comes up over and over in, people's encounters with them, that their lips didn't move, but I could hear the talking in my head. So I think they're very telepathic and probably aware when people are aware of them. So just my thoughts, but
I mean, yeah, I would think so. They're that far ahead in evolution.
well, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a good point, Marie. She says, what did you use to view the craft? I was using night vision binoculars. They were built by a company called Night Owl, and I don't think there's anything specific with the brand. It's just Generation 1 night vision. So everything you see is in a green hue. But then she says, cold stares, also EVPs are picked up by recorders, but we can't hear them with our ears. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Though I can hear them sometimes. Yeah, you might be clairaudient, right? So maybe the clairaudient people that are actually hearing spirit voices are just able to hear a bigger range of sound for some reason. Maybe it's a genetic trait, or maybe it's telepathic. I don't know.
That makes me think about some ghost stories too. Like,
Yeah.
there was a story we talked about where one person would hear a voice, but nobody else would. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Maybe.
Yep, that's a good point. But anyway, I think this is all very, very interesting stuff. And now, as we're getting to the end, we're going to head to, I got 2 videos to show you guys tonight on the Trail Cam Terrors. So let's get to that. Hold on a second here. I got to pull it all up.
Oh. Bree Wellstead says, I put a YouTube video of what I saw in my backyard.
Oh, very cool. I have no idea
Yeah.
what it is. Paranormal activity all my life. Yeah, some people are beacons, and it's probably because you have some psychic sensitivity. Maybe it's latent, or maybe you're very aware of it. But at any rate, sensitive people psychically tend to be beacons for spiritual activity. So anyway, the first thing we're going to show you guys tonight is coming from, of all places, Coast to Coast AM. And what they film, or what they have here, is from OVNI Diego, what is this? Diego Santos. And it's an odd UFO film deploying objects over a Brazil city. A curious piece of footage from Brazil shows an odd UFO hovering over a city and seemingly deploying a pair of smaller objects into the night sky. The strange scene was reportedly captured by witness Diego Santos in the city of Sao Paulo, Muca district, at around 12:30 in the morning this past Sunday. When was this? Oh, August 11th, 2021. So actually, how is that possible? How can, August is last month. I think it was August now. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Did this time slip? What's going on? As for what he may have filmed, UFO enthusiasts note that the object does not display any particular lights that would indicate it was a terrestrial craft, along with the lines of a plane, helicopter, or drone, as such vehicles are required to have such distinguishing characteristics. Some have also pointed to the unique shape of the anomaly and mused that it may be a plasma in nature. However, skeptical observers have put forward a compelling argument that the object is in fact a lantern and the smaller objects are merely embers. Given that the UFO was filmed over a major city in the middle of the weekend, one can't discount this prosaic possibility. What's your take on the footage? Share your thoughts on Coast to Coast, but let's have a look at it. I can't blow it up anymore, so let's just look at it and see what it shows. Wait.
Yeah.
Let's get that off there. Okay.
Me contem o que vocês acham que é isso.
I think I'll just mute it because it's just a lot of noise. It's not relevant. Oh, there it goes. I don't know if that doesn't look like they're lanterns, though. They are more like balls. You know, they look like illuminated balls.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But I'm not saying it couldn't be, but it seems to be much more, saucer or at least oblong shaped.
And that thing's flashing, too.
Yeah, it's a hell of an ember if it's still flashing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anybody's guess, of course. But that's the first one I wanted to show you. And now for the second one. And this is apparently some stuff that was filmed over Kalamazoo, Michigan in 2020. And this is coming from WKFR 103.3, the number one hit music station, WKFR.com. So this is, let's read the little bit here. It says, as far back as I can remember, I've always been a believer that we are not alone in the universe. When you take a look at all the reports of UFOs, it's easy to feel that continues to be true. Okay? Even taking a look at all of the reported sightings in Michigan alone makes you wonder if we are UFO hotbed. There's always been a steady flow of UFO sightings. In fact, Lake Michigan in particular has seen some strange things over its waters. Out of curiosity, I wanted to check and see if there has ever been any Kalamazoo reports of UFO activity, and upon my search, I stumbled on a video from 2020 claims to have captured UFOs over Kalamazoo. I was quick to dismiss it at first, but then I saw that it had over 72,000 views. So I clicked to check it out, and this is what you see. I guess we can, we're not going to be able to blow this up. I wonder if I can do this. If I copy the video URL, maybe I can open it in another tab and actually make it bigger.
Oh, yeah. Good plan.
Try. There it is. Actually, it worked.
Haha.
Is there not a sound bar on this? Oh. That looks like radio towers there, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Unless they start moving. Is that it?
I think it's that light at the beginning, yeah.
No, I think it's those poles. I think that's just transmission towers from a radio
Well, no,
relay.
I think it's referring to the light at the beginning of the video, like on the tree or whatever.
I would say that that's just a lens flare, possibly, because it's low light conditions, so the aperture's got to be way, way open.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think that's anything. To be honest with you, I'm not really, and that's just me, but I'm not really convinced that that's the real thing. But let's see what the narrative says. This UFO sighting, video of unknown lights flying across the night sky above Kalamazoo. Unless I wasn't seeing it. Was filmed on Tuesday, 7th of April, 2020. It was submitted to us through our Facebook page. The author said, "This isn't the first time I've seen, but it's the first I caught." The first thing I thought is, what am I looking at? Then it hit me. Those apartments look awfully like Gull Road apartments, and that UFO looks exactly like radio towers. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Here behind our building off the Gull Road in Kalamazoo. Someone seriously thought our radio towers were UFO. It's our radio towers. I don't know if the person responsible for uploading this video was trying to make a joke to lighten the mood of the pandemic last year, or if they legit thought those were visitors. But I'm sorry to say their claim of those lights being a UFO is nothing but dead air. Ba-dum-bum. Okay, so these light circles were something I've never seen before. The speed was tremendous. Let's see. Okay, is there more here? 32 satellites last night in northern Michigan. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything on that video personally that I find very compelling, but I'm sharing it with you guys because it's a video, and this is the Trail Cam Terrors. So whatever you believe, whatever you want to believe, at least, make your own opinions. But I'm not real impressed with that personally. But anyway, that'll do it for the Trail Cam Terrors. Boom. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's our night terrors for the night. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. Whatever you believe. If you believe in the UFOs, cool. If you don't, I don't know that you need to, but I think having an open mind in this case probably makes sense, because personally I've seen things myself. Now, you don't have to believe me. I'm just another person with a voice saying I saw something, but the only thing I wish was there was a record feature on those night vision binoculars. There wasn't on that brand. And now I see there's many more brands out there now that have record features, and I just wish that I had been able to hit the record button and show what I had seen, because I'm pretty convinced it would have been like the Patterson-Gimlin equivalent for the UFO world. Like, it was just that profound. It was that close. It was just sitting there above a tree and, maybe 100 yards, 150 yards away from me, and just sitting there. And it was about the size of a school bus. So it wasn't like it was, little tiny thing way off in the distance. I could see the features of the thing, and I just wish I could show that. But it's just anecdotal, because I can't do that. All I can do is explain what I saw. So something's out there, something that people are encountering probably thousands of times a year. And, some locations more, some less. But anyway, there's enough of a data sampling to say there's probably something out there. What it is, I don't pretend to know. I don't know if they came from different stars, or if they're dimensional, or if there's just other intelligences here that hide from us. I don't know. But in any case, that's the show. Sheldon, what do you got to say?
Well, you know what I got to say. If you guys want to stay more connected to us and the community as a whole, you can join the Discord here, which I will type out in chat. And join the fun. Join the party.
It's a party. It's absolutely
That's
a
right.
Party. But, great. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Had a lot of good fun. And thank you all for being here and being among the loyal weirdos that always come back over and over. I just want you to know we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. So good night, everybody. And I'll be back tomorrow night for the Friday show, 2 hours. We'll see what we can tear up tomorrow. But anyway, that's it. Roll the credits.
Good night.